Hey guys, Jacqueline Fernanadez here at the Alert Center. Today we're chatting with Josh Planos with the Better Business Bureau to talk a little bit about the BBB and the FBI teaming up here in Omaha to warn people, to keep warning people about these scams that apparently people are still falling victim to during the holiday season. So let's kind of just jump right into this if we can. Again, Josh Planos with the Better Business Bureau joining us today to talk a little bit more about this in depth. Hey Josh.
Hey, Jacqueline, thanks so much for having me.
Of course, yeah. Thanks for joining us today on the Alert Center. So we're talking about this partnership between FBI Omaha and the Better Business Bureau, following safe practices, asking holiday shoppers to stay vigilant out there. Tell us, why we're still talking about this during the holiday season.
Well, Jacqueline, there are still people purchasing holiday gifts, and sadly, those who have waited till December 11th are under an enormous time constraint for great deals, certainly the logistical side of the picture. And as a result, they're going to be probably willing to look past things that they otherwise wouldn't, some certain red flags, right? Which are to be expected this time of year. But particularly in the crunch that is the second and third week of December, you see a lot of activity. We certainly monitor, both our organizations monitor a lot of scam related activity this time of year because there are a lot of scammers who are just waiting for the opportunity to target somebody who's vulnerable, someone who really does need that gift and really needs it in a pinch. Sadly, with the reports comes the need to remind folks of some of those foundational best practices to avoid being part of those reports.
Okay, so Josh, who do scammers spare?
Nobody, sadly. It would be a lot easier to do our jobs, frankly, if they targeted a specific demographic. I think there's a huge misconception, for instance, that scams are something that are primarily impacting seniors or those over the age of 65. Even just if you were to think about the volume of activity, of online activity that those between 18 and 24 experience, it would stand to reason that they would be the most exposed to scams and yet probably the least catered to in terms of what those scam prevention efforts consist of. There are perhaps some teenagers who are purchasing holiday gifts for the first time this year. Maybe they're entering a workplace for the first time and they're trying to make sure everybody is taken care of. As a result, they might not know that site that looks legitimate but has no proven track record is undeserving of their time and consideration. So sadly, though, Jacqueline, scams come for everybody this time of year, and but luckily there are some best practices to avoid the vast majority of what is ultimately reported to both of our organizations.
Yeah, and a majority of these scams come online. Is that right, in various forms?
It is. I mean, if you just think about like if you put yourself in the scammer's perspective, that would be the quickest way to scale the effort, right? They're not going to
Mhm.
be able to knock on everybody's door in their neighborhood. Certainly, there are scams that persist that way. However, the vast majority of what is reported to us originated in an unsolicited text message or an email or a phone call. The unsolicited part is the important distinction because for a lot of folks, they are the ones being targeted. Um, and with scams being what they are these days, a lot of times that experience is shared by many people within a community. So just because you experience something and you're able to bypass that scam does not mean that someone else down the road had that same luck.
Sure, and again, we always talk about, if it seems good to be true, if you see stuff like this popping up on your social media ads, et cetera, as you scroll through Instagram or what have you, think twice, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There are a lot. All of us want to feel like we captured that fantastic deal that was only available because we got on our social media timeline at exactly that particular point in the day. That's why scams are effective, is because they make you feel that way, right? And so some of those too good to be true offers, those opportunities that seem 75% below the market rate, um, those are really to be treaded. You should really tread carefully with those opportunities because they might not be an opportunity at all. And with websites being what they are this time of year, it's really important to double and triple check that URL, particularly when you're on mobile, which is really hard, right? Because you have that shortened URL, you only have a couple of characters to work with. When people report scam experiences to us, In a lot of cases, they're talking about 1 or 2 characters of difference between Amazon.com and Amazon XC.com, right? It's really hard to see that when you're shopping on mobile. So that's something to absolutely pay attention to throughout the holidays, but also year round.
Yeah, and I'm showing you right now, I took the live bug off just so we could see it from this shot here, but the HTTPS, you want that on there, right? I mean, that's important.
You do. WOWT, BBB, Amazon, sites that you know and have experienced in the past. There's a reason why they have HTTPS starting the URL. It's because that information is secure when you're on it. You really, as a consumer, want to have that information secure. I know it seems like a very small difference, but if it doesn't have that lock icon and that S after HTTP, it's very, very easy for that account to be compromised and for that information to get in the hands of someone who can do a whole lot of damage. And as much as we'd like to think that every business has our best intentions in mind, there are both scammers and businesses that haven't invested in this technology that are still leaving their customers waiting in the wind for an opportunity like this to come in and compromise their account.
Yeah, sad but true. So again, stay vigilant out there. If anything looks too good to be true, as we always talk about, it likely is. So anyway, Josh, thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate seeing you here at the Alert Center again.
Thank you for having me, Jacqueline.
All right, Josh, we'll talk to you later. All right, guys, so if you are just joining us at the Alert Center, we were just chatting with Josh Planos with the Better Business Bureau to talk again about holiday shopping best practices. This keeps coming up because people are still falling victim, so don't get duped. Make sure you're double checking everything, and if something seems too good to be true, it usually is. We're gonna chat a little bit about the weather now. So I'm gonna take you outside, kind of get a closer look at what we're dealing with today. So this is a live look from our Blackstone camera. My goodness, not a cloud in the sky in this shot, just gorgeous out there. Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord says today we can expect mostly sunny and breezy conditions, a high of 25 degrees. So it is cold out there, but at least we have the sun, so I'll say that. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low of 14. As we head into Thursday's forecast, this is a fun shot for you from our First National camera. Little look at the ice rink there and the tree, beautiful. Thursday, decreasing clouds, a high of 22, so getting a little colder out there, but again, I'm still anticipating that sunshine, so that's good. Friday, we've been warning you about this. It's still our First Alert 6 weather day. Breezy out there today, though. Look at the desert dome just kind of shaking back and forth in this one shot. But Rusty says, it's going to be Friday's going to be a cloudy and breezy day, 80% chance of a mix after 3 p.m., hopefully changing to rain by the evening. Light icing is the main concern, a high of 33. So that is what Rusty has in store for us, at least at this point. I'm going to head over to our website, kind of take you over there. I just clicked on our First Alert 6 weather tab for you. Again, you can reach our website at firstalert6.com. Yeah, so this is what we're looking at, right? So the biggest threat seems to be around 3 p.m., that light mix of ice and sleet. He says right now the freezing rain and sleet are starting by late afternoon Friday, and then a surge of warmth in the evening tries to flip us into a cold rain. So cross your fingers that holds. But again, with the morning commute, the evening commute, be safe out there when you're driving around. Make sure you've got your seatbelts on, etc. This is what we can expect Friday afternoon into evening, and the ice potential. And again, I'll leave the rest for you to check out at firstalert6.com on our website as a web extra for you. In the meantime, just want to say thanks so much for joining us at the Alert Center. Make sure to stay tuned for our broadcast at 3 o'clock. We'll see you then.